Welcome in Observability is Transforming the Landscape of Core Banking webinar. My name is Andrew and I'm performance engineer in Performetrics. And today, together with Joseph and Rakesh, I will lead this event, making sure that after half an hour, you will gain unique knowledge about core banking observability. So a couple of words about us. Performetrics is a team of performance builders. We are supporting many banks around the world, and our mission is to help customers in speeding up core banking engines and also make a security a part of banking development processes. We are trusted partner of Temenos and leading observability platforms. We are trying to make event performance a part of fundamental value stream for many banking clients worldwide. In the moment from now, I will handle the mic to Rakesh, our T24 expert from Performetrics. Please remember to ask questions using Q&A or chat. And if you have enough time, we'll answer the questions after the panels. If not, we'll answer them by email after the event. So without delay, let's continue. Rakesh, the show is yours.
Hello everyone, welcome to the webinar on T24 Observability. I'm Rakesh Nanjareddy from Performetrics. So let's see. So why observability for core banking is important. So before going for fine-tuning exercise in T24 or any core banking system, what we should see is we should observe everything, we should monitor what's happening in it. First thing is availability. Are your services up and running? We need to check that. And then changes. Which services are impacted? Whether the up running services or the down services. And then the reporting. Are your KPIs at risk? Then the analysis. What are your bottlenecks? And then prevent activate you. So how can we solve the identified problems? So let's go to the T24 architecture in this diagram. So we have a database where all the data, all the values are stored. And then we have core and local modules. So core modules are provided by Temenos, local or customized depending on the bank's requirement. And then security management system is something where we get access to our core banking system. Then version and inquiry. Version is a place where we can use it to edit something into the T24. Inquiry is a place where we can fetch something from the T24. How can we fetch this from third-party applications like mobile applications, web applications, or browser? That is through OFS. OFS is something called Open Financial Services. This we can call it as a T24 language through which we can communicate it from the outside world. For example, if we want front end to enable or access something to the T24, we have some OFS mode and source to be set up in the browser level. Same for ATM switch level and interface, Swift interface, data warehouse, wherever it is, depending on the OFS source, telnet, batch, something, we can try to communicate it to the T24. For example, an interface like Iris will have to provide data in form of OFS. Iris itself will communicate through OFS by converting it, and then the response which it receives again will be converted back from OFS and then feed it to third party. So in recent R23 features, in each year, like iPhone, T24 upgrade itself to a new release. R23 means 2023 release, R10 means 2010 release. In 2023 release, it has released some features like log level in Transact Data Hub, and then instant payment through FCM where it has to go through many screenings, any payment. So in that, instant payment is enabled, and then Temenos payments where partial return, if it's chargeable, can be availed for cancellation request. And then Temenos has also provided a new ESG and some of the components like TDS, TAP, and Transact. And then there's something called name matching identity, to identify the duplicate issues. Then let's see how the typical T20 R23 screen looks like here. So this is a T20 R23 screen, which I'll try to log in now. So this is how the screen looks like. It's a R23 model bank. So I tried to log in with input user, and then I'm listing company record here. So when we list this company record, and then if we want to check which is the lead company, we need to compare mnemonic with the financial mnemonic. If both are same, that itself is a lead company. So let's view this record, for instance, and then let's go back. So what I did is I viewed the company after logging in. In the same way, I'll try to view country record. Let's view customer record. I'm just listing the customers available in this particular R23 release. It's 677. And then what I'll do, I'll try to log off. So what I did is log in, we do some action and then log out. Can we see a Dynatrace or any other third party tracking what I did now? Yes, it is possible to track all the actions from the login to the logout, what we did, how much time it took. Let me hand it over to our CEO Joseph to explain on the Dynatrace observability. Over to you, Joseph.
Thank you so much, Rakesh. Let me try to take over the screen sharing. Yeah, my name is Joseph. I'm the founder of Performetrics. Happy to share some insights about what we are doing, how we are using observability platforms such as Dynatrace to provide all the detail level insights for core banking platforms. So in this slide, basically we see the Dynatrace foundational layer. We have logs, we have infrastructure, monitoring, application security, digital analytics, business analytics, and cloud automation. And on top of that, Performetrics has built in the last couple of years a so-called T24 Fastpack. We have more than 10 years experience in T24, not only development, but also performance tuning. And this knowledge has all been built in basically in our fast packs that we are providing for TUF C or also TUF J from release 12 up to release 23. All are supported, and yeah, we are happy to support you in that area. I would like to give you a quick tour, a live demo, so that you can also see what is this observability for T24 core banking, why it is supported, why it is so important, and how it could solve your business challenges. So when we talk about the Dynatrace platform, the core of it is really this one agent that will be deployed on a broad number of supported systems. So in our sandbox, we have a Kubernetes installation. We have basically Dynatrace installed in the full stack modus. We have operator integrated and deployed Dynatrace. After the deployment, usually this takes 2 minutes or less than that. The one agent would show up. The one agent would detect all the processes and would do something like automated bytecode instrumentation. All the processes are detected in an automated fashion. Remember, complex systems, they consist of hundreds or thousands of services. There's no chance that you could manually map all the communication between these processes. The beauty of this Dynatrace platform is they detect the processes automatically, they integrate automatically. There is no single process you need to touch manually. And even if there are updates for the Dynatrace software, these updates would be deployed in an automated fashion as well, if you wish. So this is the Smartscape overview. We see the top-down communication from the browser down to my data center, all the processes that are involved, different JBoss, WebSphere, messaging layers. Then we see the endpoints. And last but not least, we see also the T24 browser web application. And this is where I want to continue my analysis in my demo. A few minutes before, Rakesh was navigating through the T24 UI. in a very similar fashion as a teller in any bank would do it. And the question is often, these tellers, they might experience some performance glitches. And then we as performance engineers, or you as operational teams or as developers, are challenged to investigate these issues. So why is there a slowness? What are the performance issues? And this is where observability is fantastic use case and really supportive in terms of cutting down mean time to repair, mean time to resolve, because you get these insights much, much faster. So on my screen, we see the traces for the T24 browser web from an end-to-end perspective. So we can here easily go to, for instance, check the user sessions, check what was going on. We see here one of the live sessions executed by Rakesh, and these are our synthetic scripts. They are doing some activities. So let's assume this would be a teller user. We would immediately see the key information about his workstation, his browser he was using. We would see the steps he was performing. And if one of these steps would be slow, we could immediately go into the details and do something like a waterfall analysis. So we see already here from a server time perspective, this was not so bad. We lost 0.2 seconds on the network layer, and using this perform waterfall analysis, we can go into more details. So we see here the screens for this synthetic monitor that have been executed. We do a login. We definitely go and use the command line on top of it. This is this little screen. We do keystrokes on the command line interface, and then simply execute this customer or company search in this case. And let's imagine this would be a long-running requests. We can easily go to the trace and see more details about what kind of slowness are we dealing with. And based on our experience, this is a fantastic opportunity to show the long-running requests also to your developers, because this gives you not only insights about database requests, it tells you more about the design as well. And actually, it connects a complex transaction together. So you will really be in a position to focus from an end user perspective, discuss the long-running requests with your business or developers as well, and show them also the code level insights. So in this area, Dynatrace has gathered this information by using bytecode instrumentation, and you can even step by step go down and see the thread activities. You will see different timings, which is fantastic, supportive if you need to drill down and figure out what was going on in the application. So here we see also the metadata, the URL data. If we want to reproduce this request, we could simply give it to the developer and they could execute it on their environment and see more details if needed as well. Even from here, let's say you are an architect, you want to understand more about the long-running requests, you could do something like show me the service flow, which is a kind of mapping. So in this area, it's more a lot of database communication. Let's go back to a more complex one. And I navigate back to my browser. This was the synthetic sessions. This was again my synthetic session. And one more back click, it should end up in my browser. And as you can see, this is the breakdown. This was the main service. that was initiated by the browser. And here you can see the detailed communication starting from the browser web. The average response time is around 1.5 seconds, going down to my Nginx layer, and then my browser layer, browser web layer, going down to different backend services. Usually in complex custom environments, there are many more connected services, and this kind of visualization gives you immediate insight where is eventually too much time spent in your application. And from here, you could again go down to analyze the distributed traces and see the performance insights. So imagine if you need to do a performance analysis of any core banking system without this kind of tracing. You need to pull out a bunch of log files. Eventually, you need to write some script to simulate some traffic on non-production environments. But even then, you don't have the code level insights. You don't see how the dots are connected. You don't see the SQL transactions. You don't see design-related issues. So this kind of observability that Dynatrace is providing is, based on our experience, absolutely important when you need to deal with spiky transactions, performance challenges, even on your production environment. Our customers, they use Dynatrace and these observability platforms not only for tracing on production, but also shift left, start early, integrate it to your performance test environment, and also implement kind of performance quality gates so that you catch performance issues early in your life cycle and not only on production when your customers are actually suffering. So a very advanced analysis technique is the so-called multi-dimensional analysis. Usually performance engineers and architects are using that one a lot. Out of the box, you have a couple of pre-configured analysis perspectives, like show me the SQL statements executed on my T24 environment. But usually you want to do the analysis from end user perspective. So let's say you have certain user groups, they're complaining all the time. Let's say my Andrew01 is a teller. He is totally frustrated about performance, and me as a performance engineer, I need to figure out what is going on regarding his transactions. So I would simply apply this little filter. I would see what has Andrew performed, what kind of transactions. And again, I can go back here to the distributed traces. I can pull out this detailed trace, and I would see immediately what was the reason, what was the root cause for Andrew's frustration, for instance. The same analysis can be done for all the hundreds of so-called N-queries we have in T24. So in our little sandbox for T24, we simulate customer requests, we simulate this company list requests. And even here, we see response times are okay at the moment, but if there would be millions of such requests and very complex inquiries, there could be some performance challenges. And then again, within a couple of mouse clicks, you are really diving into these challenges, and you would see immediately what is causing the slowness in these requests as well. So this was a more technical deep dive, but usually you also need some kind of management reporting, insights for your operational teams. And this is where the Dynatrace dashboarding capabilities comes in really handy. So this is one example for the TSA agents. These are kind of backend processes. They are running all the time. They are looking into some tables and then detecting if there is some work to be done, processing this work. And the second use case for these TSA agents and TSA services is during close of business. They need to actually process all the work to be done as the end of day processing. So performance tuning for these TSA agents is a day-to-day activity. Basically, it's part of a usual working day for any T24 operator, and this kind of insights are really important. And I want to quickly highlight one more dashboard regarding the health overview. So this big picture perspective is extremely important. You need to see the health of your system. Our customers usually they have big monitoring screen. They chart these dashboards on this monitoring screen so that everyone in their IT teams is aware of what's going on, how is the health of these systems. These dashboards are configurable. You can just by drag and drop modify the look and feel and customize it to your need. As part of our fast pack, we will deliver roughly 10 of these dashboards, but you can definitely customize this dashboard as well. Another topic that is more and more important is this kind of forecasting, predictive analytics. How is my environment doing and how it is looking like in 2 weeks, 1 month from now? So if you're in charge of infrastructure capacity management, you need to answer these questions. How is CPU, memory, disk utilization going? Do you need to upgrade your storage platform? Do you need to purchase additional CPU memory? And this Dynatrace capability forecasting is really giving you these opportunities. We see here there's a little so-called Dynatrace query language behind that is fetching the data, and then we are using predictive analytics capabilities so that we see exactly in a few weeks from now, based on the history, what is the CPU utilization, what is the memory utilization, and what is the disk usage as well. So a very generic, a very flexible forecasting, highly automated, and you could even send out these forecasting reports once a week, once a month to your capacity management team as well. The last topic for the live demo is the problem analytics. So Dynatrace comes with an AI engine at the core, and this AI engine does permanently kind of analysis of the collected data. So instead of you have a big operational team, hundreds of engineers who will permanently collect some metrics, do some deep dive, you have this Dynatrace platform. There is permanently a correlation of the events happening in the backend. And if there is a deviation compared to the automated collected baseline, we would see such a problem, and the problem can be sent out using different channels like Teams or Jira ticket. We can connect it, technically speaking, to any API and send out a ticket to ServiceNow or whatever ticketing platform you're using. The beauty about these problems, it shows us not only the business impact, but also the root cause. So in this particular issue, there was a problem on the database side. The failure rate increased. The issue was open for 12 minutes. So we see already there's not only a problem detection, but also the Dynatrace platform detects when the problem has been solved as well. So it's a big advantage compared to other solutions. The second highlight is the business impact. So imagine in a large bank, you have thousands of applications. There will be not only one problem at a certain time. And then it helps really if you see the business impact, meaning how many customers are impacted of this issue, how many affected services are there. And based on this business impact, your operational team can really prioritize the remediation activities. And most importantly, Dynatrace will give us insights about the root cause. So in this particular event, there was an increase in the failure rates. We see here immediately the SQL statement that was part of the problem. We see how many requests have been failed. And just with a simple mouse click, usually if you have a complaint by a user, you need to go to eventually hundreds of log files. You need to start troubleshooting meetings to even get a rough idea what could be the issue. And Dynatrace, according to research, reduces this mean time to resolve by 90%. So you're really so much faster in terms of diving into the issues, see what's the problem, and start the remediation activities. So I want to really start or stop over here by this last slide. As Performetrics, we are a partner of Temenos and Dynatrace. I believe this is really the added value we can bring to your banks because we combine the knowledge. We have very deep Dynatrace performance tuning experience, and also from the core banking side, we understand how this Temenos platform works. We provide not only trainings, but also performance tuning and T24 Active Directory integration services. And yeah, one of the best feedbacks we received a few weeks ago was from one of our customers in South America. They were telling, yeah, since we have Performetrics integrated and since we have them supporting us, we reduced the number of sleepless nights dramatically. So this is, I believe, fantastic. We want to make your life easier. We want to support all of you on the observability performance tuning journey. And yeah, we would be happy to answer all your questions and eventually support you in one of your performance tuning projects. And I believe this was my last slide. We have a few minutes left. I would like to hand it back to you, Andrew.
Thank you so much, Joseph. Thank you, Rakesh. That's awesome insights. I hope that everyone learned something new today. We have a couple of questions from the audience. So yeah, the first question from Kuba. How will Dynatrace integrate with batch jobs and batch interfaces?
Excellent question.
So yeah, Joseph, if you can refer.
Excellent question. So this is most important when we talk about batch jobs tracing. It depends a little bit on the technology, but let's talk about T24. So this is Java-based. Dynatrace does a kind of bytecode instrumentation, and each and every Java class, Java method that is executed, Dynatrace would detect out of the box. If we talk about the older versions of T24 that is C-based, there is no bytecode injection possible. The only chance is to use log files and use the Dynatrace query language to create log events and then visualize this matrix in dashboards. So both is doable. And the third option would be that your batch job is doing some statistics updates in the database, and we would fetch this information from the database. So these are the three ways we are using how we could monitor batch jobs: by native injection, by log files, or by gathering the statistics from the database. Does this answer your question, Kuba?
Yes, wait. Thank you, Kuba. And we have another question from Kuba. How are the browser page names defined, and how are the AJAX called traced?
Also a good question, very advanced topic. So what Dynatrace is doing, basically, it's sending out additional JavaScript, and this JavaScript, first of all, if you have a firewall involved, you need to allow this additional tags, tracking cookies, and so on that Dynatrace is using. But then in a Dynatrace, you have actually naming rules. You can change, if you're not happy with the out-of-the-box name detection for your end user actions. You can change it, you can overwrite it. This is fully supported. So it's all based on additional JavaScript that is sent out to the end user. If you have a web application and that is actually traced by Dynatrace and you go to the browser development tools, you will see these so-called Dynatrace cookies, tracking cookies, and also the Dynatrace JavaScripts that will record and detect the actions as well.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes, we'll answer all additional questions. We'll follow up with you by email after the event because we are just finished half an hour. So thank you so much for participating. Thank you for questions. And yes, we'll be sharing the recording from the webinar in the following days. So please stay tuned. We'll contact you after the event.